Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Nitai go, Haribol, 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 Gora Haribol, Nitai go, Haribol, 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 Gora Haribol. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Guru Vrinda ki Jai. All the students and teachers, welcome. Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So you are welcome to today's session of the Shastri Isopanishad. And actually yesterday we were talking about mantra 9. And then we talked a little about mantra 10. Almost halfway into mantra 10, then we close. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped. In mantra 9, and the topic is on avidya, those who cultivate avidya or ignorance. What is their destination? And we talked about the simple materialist who is simply, ordinarily ignorant. Then we elaborated on it and said that both the vikamis and kamis are also just in that category. That the ass is the symbol of stupidity. The ass is the symbol of stupidity. And both the vikamis and kamis and those whose goal is sense gratification, they are all asses. Asses. And we know the qualities of an ass, how it carries big burden of loads with the expectation of eating some few morsels of grass at the end of the day. And we talked more about the characteristics of an ass, that an ass is also very stubborn. That at a point, if you decide not to go for that, you can beat him to death and he will be sitting down there just watching. And to encourage us as reluctant as the owner knows that they like carrots and they will tie the carrot on the body of the ass and then send it front to be dangling in front of the ass. So as it's tied to the body, as the ass is moving, the carrot is also moving. But it's expecting that very soon I will get this carrot and I will enjoy it. And with that motivation, the ass continue to work all day long all day long. He doesn't consider that he can just break loose and go and get something dry to eat abundantly without working so hard. So these are some of the qualities of the ass, and the simply ignoramus people, they are considered to be like ass or Naradama, the lowest among mankind. But to say even lower than those people are those who cultivate so-called knowledge. How can knowledge lead to demotion or degradation? But it is not just knowledge, it is so-called knowledge. But it appears to be knowledge, but it's actually misleading. So we talk about how some of these people, they actually study the Vedas and they are very learned, and they are philosophers, they are learned in all kinds of fields, but all they are learning is to promote sense gratification. They promote sense gratification, they teach about Kamakanda, those who are connected to Vedic knowledge, they know about Kamakanda, how to prepare in order to get maximum sense gratification while cleverly avoiding the suffering that will follow it. So for that, we arrange for sense gratification. They want a particular desire to be fulfilled. Then they will go to a priest, a pro. It's called pro or pro-eater. They go to a pro-eater, and the pro-eater will do some jagya for them. This jagya will alleviate all the suffering. You just go ahead, provided you pay your money. You are there. And you do this jagya on your behalf. You don't need to perform austerity. I will fast on your behalf. I will do this on your behalf. Then in this way, he followed those Vedic presentations. And for that, they are attached to the flowery language of the Vedas. That is how they are called, flowery language. Or what you can do in order to get what? How to protect yourself from the reaction. They know it so well, and they are doing it. Then they become gurus. They teach it also. They become gurus in misleading people into sense gratification and getting people deeper into sense gratification. And they are gurus in that. They lead you to the wilderness and just leave you behind and go alone. So we said all that is actually is more dangerous. Such a person is like a cobra, a snake, heavy snake with jewels on his head. Snake with jewels on his head. It's very dangerous. More dangerous because the jewels will attract the sense gratification propensities that are promised. If you do this, you will get it. That will attract. Those are the jewels on the head of the snake. And when you follow the jewels, you go very close, then the snake will just bite you. Then all your body is infused with poison, and before you realize your body is getting weakening, and before you realize the body has fallen and it's all over. So you have been bitten by the poisonous snake with jewels on his head. And these people who are doing this, who are the gurus and teachers who are misleading a lot of people into deeper ignorance, their level is very bad. The result is that they go deeper into ignorance and self-forgetfulness, therefore suffering. Prabhu Nanda Kumara, quickly wear a shirt, please. We will not like to watch your chest. We are not coming to look chest. Keep your chest under the cloth. When the appropriate time comes, you open it to the appropriate persons. Close it now, cover it now. So we talked about that. Then we also said that all the beautiful promises are just like decorations on dead bodies. That a dead body is decorated to make the body appear less dead. It's a kind of patchwork to pacify the immediate family and onlookers that no, this person appears to be dead, but actually still well dressed and it's not so dead as you think. Don't be afraid, don't be scared about this. And start thinking that you also die. You can also wear clothes and even your best rituals or jewels or necklaces or golden legs, you can wear them. So in this way, they try to cover the reality with cloths and decorate it, make some ceremonies around it. That is something very attractive. There's no problem. Don't think of your own death. Just like that. Just like in America and other civilized countries, when there are highways, the highways are very, very big and maybe some 10 lanes, 12 lanes. You can imagine all going in the same direction. So the speed is very, very high. Sometimes on highways also, something can happen. And there will be accidents. When there is accidents, it's terrible. Accidents on the highway is terrible because so many vehicles are running the same speeds, high speed, following each other closely. So when the one in front gets halted, when something happens there, maybe you see something passing, I try to stop. Some things happen by some direction of material nature also. So it has accident, then all the ones following behind in full speed will come and crash. More than 20, 30, 40 vehicles involved in the same accident. But then what they do, their system is so arranged. Their decoration of the dead body is so powerful that before you realize, 5 minutes time, people have come, they call people from everywhere, and they come and they clear up the mess. And after about 10, 15 minutes, the whole place is clear, no single blood, everything. So that the people coming will not come and see the gaslighting that has happened. So in that way, they are encouraged to go at the same speed again. Then somebody stops and asks the beautiful lady who is controlling the traffic, say, what happened? Why was there hold up for 30 minutes? Oh, don't worry, it's not a big thing. You just come and pass. No, it's not a problem at all. Just some little. They cover the truth. They cover the truth. This is masquerading. This is decoration on the dead body to make it appear less dead, so that the relatives will be pacified and every other person will be encouraged that, no, there's no big deal about it. It's not going to be your turn soon. So this kind of level, having said that, we move to the next session, the next mantra, mantra 10. Mantra 10 strictly talk about knowledge and the principle of knowledge. The principle of knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada went straight into the purport and started enumerating the principles of knowledge. And these principles of knowledge, they are also contained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 8 to 12. That's where the principles of knowledge are contained. Now, Srila Prabhupada exported them from there, and he gave some Isopanishadic meaning, additional meaning to the translation. So, and then when he got to the last four, he merged them. Second to the last two, he merged them together. The last two, merged them together. So instead of 20, they are 18. So we are going to look a little bit more closely about these items of knowledge, and we go ahead from there. We were there when we stopped yesterday. If we had known that the Bhakti Baba people would not come in, we would have actually gone ahead. But it was later we come to know that they were not coming. So today we are going to try to finish this. Then we move into the mantra 11. And when we get to mantra 11, we'll do our usual style today. I'm hoping that the attendance will be more so that we create groups and we divide the purports for the groups to solve. Then they can come and present. And that way we'll cover the whole of mantra 11. Mantra 11 is one of the longest purports. They have one of the longest purports, about 15 paragraphs. So we divide the paragraphs into 3 to make 5 groups. Then the group members will discuss and they come up with something to explain to the class. So having said that, the principle of knowledge, among the principles of knowledge given, the first 5 are actually the qualities we must have in order to attract the mercy of the Guru. And immediately after those qualities, but we have to take them very, very serious. Anyone who considers himself a devotee should take these first 5 qualities very seriously, because to the degree you develop these qualities, to that degree you'll be able to attract the mercy of the Guru. And with the mercy of the Guru, your life will be successful. So, but then number 6 will tell us about taking shelter of the Guru. So, taking shelter of the Guru, the qualities that endear you to the Guru, among them, the first quality, among it one more humility, plus number 6, taking shelter of the Guru, plus number 16. Number 16 is Bhakti Avyavicha. Engaging everything in the devotional service of the Lord. That is the mother of all. If you get all these other qualities, and if you don't engage in devotional service, it's like a beautiful seat without any connection, without a rope. It is a rope that connects them together. And that is where we're supposed to. The goal is devotional service. So everything minus devotional service is 0. Everything and anything plus devotional service is something. So Bhakti Avyavicha, this is the head of all these qualities. So we're going to enumerate some of them, or give a little explanation to some of them. Then we move to the next stage. And when we get to the next stage, you will see how Srila Prabhupada will try to relate this to modern civilization. Srila Prabhupada is unique because it's able to relate everything to the modern civilization, what is happening, and he will give the mirror for you to see clearly the difference between what they're supposed to do, what they are doing now, and the consequences of what they are doing now. So the next session, Srila Prabhupada is going to talk about, after giving the principles of knowledge, is going to talk about how the materialistic civilization is like trying to practice the opposite of all the principles of knowledge and the consequences. So that is summarized there. Then after that, then the Srila Prabhupada talk about in the last few paragraphs. It talks about the importance of a dira. How a dira, somebody who is fully self-controlled, who is pacified, the pure devotees, only them can give this kind of transcendental knowledge effectively. Then there, how the material body is also still a bad bargain, it should be invoked, then there will be conclusion. So now let's look at them. Aman Itwam. That is the verse, Bhagavad Gita 13:8-12. Aman Itwam. Aman Itwam means humility. And humility actually means behaving according to etiquette. That's the meaning of humility. You lay down etiquette, you lay down rules and regulations, behaving according to those rules and regulations, those laid down etiquettes. Humility does not mean you just anybody see, you just bow down, I worship you, whereas you are not doing any of the things you're supposed to do. You are not following any etiquette after that. That's not humility. So let's separate false humility from real humility. Real humility means acting according to etiquettes. Now, Amanitwam, Adam Bitwam. Adam Bitwam means pridelessness. You cannot be proud like Durodan and you get the mercy of anybody. You must be humble like Yudhishthira so that you can get the mercy of everybody. Okay? So that is our target, to become like Yudhishthira, who went around the world and was asked to bring one person that is superior to him, and he didn't see anybody that is superior to him. The humble person sees himself as lower than the straw in the street, lower than the lowest. You see, so that's the quality with not pride. Pride brings stagnation and destruction, and while humility brings achievement, fulfillment, and satisfaction, success. Okay, then ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. And in this particular purport of Isopanishad, Srila Prabhupada translated ahimsa to be one should not become a source of anxiety to others by the actions of his body, mind, and words. And we can imagine if we evaluate ourselves, we know how much we have been sources of anxiety to others. We have been sources of anxiety to others by our behaviors, by our conduct, by our utterances, by our contributions to backyard talks. So we should refrain from all that if individually we want to make advancements and want to cultivate this particular quality. Cultivation means actions. No? Cultivation means the activities you do. You see, you have to qualify your activities. It's very, very important. Okay. Qualities we imbibe, the values we imbibe, and the specific consciousness we're able to generate accordingly. All that is part of cultivation. So we have to be very, very conscious of not behaving in a way that will give pain to others. Therefore, they say ahimsa, non-violence. And shanti. Shanti means tolerance. Tolerance means to bear insults and dishonor. When everything is going nicely, there's no problem. There's no problem. The word tolerance is meaningless. But when there is a challenge, when somebody behaves improperly towards us, how do we react? That is where tolerance comes in. In other words, challenges will be there, but how you react to the challenges, that will show how much of tolerance you have. That's why when Arjuna asked Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna, and for one who has developed these divine qualities we have said, how does he behave? How does he respond to challenges? Then Krishna began to enumerate, the behavior and the reactions, how he responds to everything. He says, it's there in the Bhagavad Gita. You come across it when you come to that session. So that is it. Challenges will come to all of us individually, either in our working place, in our homes, in our marriages, in everything. But how do we react? That will bring out our inner qualities. So the social scientists said life is only 10% of what happens, but 90% of how we react. So our reactions to challenging actions is the determinant of our level of purity. So we should take note. We should not expect everything to go rosy. Nothing bad happen, no challenge. Then we should expect challenges. Then we should be ready. We should be willing to overcome those challenges by superior behavior, by superior conduct. Then Arjavam means simplicity. Simplicity means avoiding duplicity in dealings with others. Avoiding duplicity in dealings with others. Simplicity means one, you walk your talk, you say what you do, and you do what you say. This is simplicity. But that means the mind is only one. But when you have some clouds in front of your mind, you have some cloud behind you. That means you have more than one concerns. Do comes in. Two, you say one thing, whereas you mean something else. You mean something else, and you say something else. You have more than one thing on the screen, and you are presenting one, hiding the others. It becomes duplicitous. Duplicity. You deceive and dribble others. Your real mind is not said. That is so much always anyway in the relationship between man and woman. But generally, one has to practice simplicity, not duplicity. Okay? In other words, we should be straightforward in our dealings. Okay? So having said that, we come to, those are the first 5 qualities that you are expected to acquire in order to attract the mercy of the spiritual master, in order to attract the favor of the spiritual master, in order to be able to receive what the spiritual master is giving. So there is a call for us to work on ourselves, to qualify ourselves for the Guru's mercy. Okay, you got it? If you got it, I should be seeing something like this. Get it, man. Get it. Qualities you must acquire in order to attract the mercy of the Guru. So that when Guru is giving instructions to everybody generally, different people receive the instruction differently. As Bhakti Shastri graduates, you are expected to receive the instruction on a higher level with all this level of preparation being made. You will receive the message, and your meaning will be higher than an ordinary person who has not done Bhakti Shastri. So qualify yourself. Then in the sixth one, Acharya Upasanam, you take shelter of a spiritual master. You select a spiritual master consciously. And that's why we are having a course. It's called Disciple Course. That when you finish doing that course, you will know how to select a spiritual master. Taking a spiritual master is not like wearing slippers or chaliwati. You put your leg in, then small time, you withdraw it back, and you are facing another direction. As some unqualified disciples used to do. They take the spiritual master, small time, they find fault with what the spiritual master says, then they abandon the spiritual master. You're just killing yourself spiritually. You are electrocuting yourself. Once you take a spiritual master, you should be ready to refine your attitude in a way to understand the spiritual master. Even when he has not spoken, how much more when he has given some instruction, you just ignore it and go. You are not ready. So that you are not ready. And so a guru can drop such a person and go ahead. So before you take the spiritual master, do these courses so that you can know what is expected of you. Then you are acting, you are qualifying yourself to receive. And when you receive the message, there will be a difference between you and others. Okay? You can't be initiated and you remain the same way. No, your visions will change and your activities should upgrade also. Knowing fully well that the spiritual master must be pleased in order to, if you want to please your father, you obey him very nicely. Even the things he have not said, you try to be proactive, doing them very right, and you are moving ahead. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, then the next 15 items, are what the Guru will tell you. When you receive the Guru, he will start telling you these next items. Okay? All the next items, the Guru will start telling you. So these are qualities that are displayed by those who has knowledge. And they are the qualities we should develop in order to receive the mercy of the spiritual master. Straightforwardness means to always act for the benefit of others. Sometimes we need to speak the truth. Although other people, especially some of the persons who are senior to you, might not receive it. You see something critical and you want to say it, but you look and the person involved is somebody who is your senior. How do you go about speaking that truth? So there are some principles that are given. You have to be straightforward. At the same time, you have to be careful not to offend the person you are speaking to, or you should be careful in a way that when you say something, it will be meaningful without offending the person involved. So there are principles to practice straightforwardness. So most effective principle is to approach the person who is in good relationship with the person who has done something that you want to address. Then you go through that person, because your intention is not to try to minimize the person, but you really have compassion for the person you want to help because you feel it's not right. So you approach through somebody who is in a good relationship with him, who is a mate to him, and then you deliver your message. Can you please help me? I observed this thing about this person. I'm not backbiting, but it's what I saw Krishna positioned me to see. So can you do something about it? Tell him about this, and some people are seeing him like this. You should try to adjust. Then you go about it and you do it. So these principles are explained. Then Socham. Social means following rules and regulation for internal and external cleanliness. We follow rules and regulations for internal cleanliness. External cleanliness, we can bath with water easily and the body is clean. And we wash our clothes and we wear it and we are looking clean externally to the ordinary person. But internally, we must be clean also. Internal cleanliness means cleaning the mind, cleaning our thinking, our intelligence. I mean, there must be endeavors for internal cleanliness. And part of the endeavors is chanting your rounds, doing devotional activities under the guidance of your superiors and the gurus. All that is required. So the focus will be for both external and internal cleanliness. That is social. Then in Bhagavad Gita 8-12, steadiness is possible by studying the scriptures, because Stairyam means steadiness. Stairyam, Atman Vinigraha. Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. That is the quotation here. Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha. Okay. Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. So that is it. We have to understand the principles and apply them. Principles in the scripture. Atma Vinigraha means sense control. Sense control means accepting that which is favorable to the execution of devotional service and accepting that which is favorable to the execution of devotional service and rejecting that which is unfavorable to the execution of the. You don't receive everything. You accept some and you reject some. Okay, you reject poison and you go for the nectar. You drink the nectar and get nourished, because if you drink the poison, it will go around your body and your physical posture, everything will change. Your face will change, the expression of your face will change, and every other thing will start changing. Poison will be working in your body. So you have to reject anything that is poisonous and take only those things that are not poisonous, that are nectar. That is how to be. We have to consciously apply principles to our day-to-day living. So, Stairyam Atma Vinigraha, sense control, means accepting that which is favorable and rejecting that which is unfavorable. And these are the first two components of surrender. So you have to practice that. Nobody else will practice it for you. I will not come and practice it for you. Only you can practice it for yourself. Even your guru will not practice it for you. He will only tell you. And these are the things guru will be telling you. If your guru will be telling you this thing, you have to do Atma Vinigraha. My dear Prabhu, now you are a disciple. You should be practicing Atma Vinigraha. Practice self-control. Practice sense control. I'm telling you now, I'm your guru. I don't need to pamper you. I want you to be the best. I want you to come out, successfully in the end. So I'm telling you, a guru is heavy with the truth. He doesn't mince words when he's trying to give, especially when he sees your level of maturity, you can receive what he's giving. Then the guru is very heavy. To the degree you are able to receive it, to that degree, the guru will be heavy on you. These principles are so important that we cannot just rush them and rush them over. But this is practical application. And the whole purpose of this study is on practical application. Plenty of the juggleries of words, they are there, but we are just going through them for understanding's sake. But the main thing is practical application. How will you apply yourself to this principle? How will you apply? Which principle will you apply when situations like this face you or challenge you? And this is the most important aspect. These are qualities that the gurus will want you to develop in order to continue to receive his mercy. So let's listen carefully and attentively. Understand? All those who have not taken initiation know this. And all those who have taken initiation, please be conscious of this. The guru will tell you that you must control your senses. It becomes a kind of contract, whereby you do your part, I do my parts. I'm a guru ready to guide you back home, back to God, but please practice sense control. No illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat-eating. That's why during initiation, he asks you to repeat these things in the presence of the 33 million demigods, unseen by anyone. And you pronounce it, a contract is signed. This is what I will do, and this is what I will not do. I agree, Gurudev. Before I give you the name, say your new name is so. If your name is Bright, Bhakti Bright, you can say your new name is Balaram. That's expect you to develop these qualities of Balaram and give it to you. But for that, you must practice sense control, basically. So you say Atma Vinigraha. Balaram, Atma Vinigraha. Practice sense control. See, so you accept only all those things that are favorable for the execution of the penal service and reject those things that are unfavorable. Very, very important. Then Indriya Tesu, Vairagyam, to renounce talking nonsense. In fact, Anahankara, absence of false ego. The Vaishnavas do reject false ego, and they accept real ego. They reject a false sense of proprietorship. As devotees, you have to renounce false ego. Every time we talk about false ego in our class, false ego. That means there is true ego. While rejecting false ego, you should embrace true ego. Because true ego will now enable you to develop humility and be able to get the mercy of the Guru and the mercy of all your senior devotees or your god-brothers and sisters. So, while rejecting false ego, purging it out as unwanted thing, you should be embracing real ego. Be ready to do all the positive things that will attract the mercy of the spiritual master. Okay? So it's very, very important. And Hankara, absence of false ego. Vaishnava reject false ego and they accept true ego. They reject a false sense of proprietorship. True ego means nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. Therefore, in obedience to the Sabhasya principle, I am learning how to engage everything in the service of Krishna. This is true ego. Okay? Then, Janma Mritu Jaravyadi Dukadosa Anudasana. We should remember that once we have taken the material body, we must experience birth, old age, disease, and death. We should not deceive ourselves. Birth is there, means old age, disease, and death are coming. You may end up trying to placate, trying to masquerade something, that the ultimate end is that old age, disease, and death are inevitable. Okay? They haven't known that. Immediately, you realize that this body is a bad bargain. Ultimately, it's going to bring you distress. So you now arrest it and use all its limbs in glorifying Krishna in devotional service. So you have to conquer your body and the senses therein. There are 5 knowledge-gathering senses. They are called Jnana Indriya. Then there are also 5 working senses, or Kamendriya. 5 Kamendriyas and 5 Jnanendriyas. You should bring them under control. Don't become their servants. Become their master. Okay, this is the challenge. Then you go ahead to know about Ashakti, or to accept all those things necessary for the advancement of devotional service is actually Ashakti, rejecting them. But then simultaneously, you have to develop attachment. Simultaneous rejection of unfavorable things and acceptance of unfavorable things to reject, and acceptance of favorable things. Okay, regulation is to help us develop detachment progressively. Okay, we regulate in order that we can develop, detachment from unwanted things on a progressive level. Anabhiswanga, freedom from entanglements, wife, home, etc. Here, all the senses and their objects of attachment are there. But we should learn to make a difference between what is healthy, affectionate, exchange and what is unhealthy, affectionate exchanges. We are not saying you should reject your wife and children and everything, detach from them and don't do your responsibility. So do your responsibility, but be very focused that you engage them in devotional service. This is the secret. It's very difficult to be detached while in the family life. Very, very difficult to be detached. But you transcendentally, as a mystic, you can become detached. And the formula is to engage all of them in the service of Krishna. You can make your home, transform your home into a temple, a place where Krishna is in the center and you and your family are servants. So even though attachment is there, that attachment is offered as oblation into the fire of Krishna pleasure. That attachment is grain. They become like grains that are offered into the sacrificial fire of using everything to please Krishna, so including your family. Here in this particular class, we have some people that the whole family is participating in this program. The father has arranged that all his dependents become devotees. So he's engaging them in devotional service and encouraging them and planting the seed for them. So that is success. They are exemplary families. They are devotees, then their dependents are provided the opportunity to become devotees also. And they are doing so well. And Krishna will continue to bless them. For some person, the word detachment is even meaningless. Yes, because they are detached while appearing to be attached. So that is it. So the process of Varnashram is also to facilitate that thing. You know your level, you know your duties, and you are doing them. You appear to be materially engaged, but the result is for Krishna. Krishna in the whole of Bhagavad Gita was telling Arjuna not to renounce, not to detach from his responsibilities, but rather is to engage in his responsibilities and offer the results to Krishna. He should not be attached to the results. He should do his duties without attachment to the result. That is the will of Bhagavad Gita. That is what he's talking about. Then, evil-mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, yes, Bhakti Avyabhicharana. Everything culminates in devotion. You develop these qualities so that you can engage them in devotion. That's why number 16, item number 16 is the most critical, most important of all the items. All other items are trying to help you to come to item number 16. So everything with connection to Krishna is meaningful. Everything else without connection to devotional service to Krishna is unmeaningful. They become sources of entanglement. Okay. There, here, the material body is a bad bargain. Make the best use of it. Utilize what we have in Krishna consciousness, whatever we have, utilize it in Krishna consciousness. That is the head of all the principles. So the bad bargain is that we have taken a material body, mind, and intelligence. We should employ the bad bargain. We should employ our material body, the senses therein, and then the mind and the intelligence, all in glorifying Krishna. Okay? So having said that, most of the remaining paragraphs are explaining about, Srila Prabhupada is explaining how each of these principles is showing how each of these principles is being violated by the materialistic civilization. And the practices that they do are diametrically opposed. Materialistic life means acting in opposition to these principles of knowledge. That's why I say everything else, whatever that is being stated there is knowledge, but everything else is ignorance. So acting contrary to these principles of knowledge is to act in ignorance. And this is what the materialistic civilization is doing and is propagating. And Srila Prabhupada will show how they are doing it. He shows us the signs of how materialistic civilization is practicing the exact opposite of what constitutes knowledge. So having said it, Let us now read very fast. We should read from the beginning or the next paragraph, paragraph 2, the paragraph after the principles of knowledge. We should read up to maybe we should read up to, I will tell you where to stop. Let us start reading. Because all these are talking about this, how materialistic civilization is employing the energy negatively. They are acting in violation to the principles of knowledge and the consequences that they attract based on those activities. So as we are reading, we should be attentive, because we will not elaborate more on that, because we are going to move to the next class, the next topic very soon, the next mantra very soon. So, and that one has long purpose too. So let us start now. Volunteers to read, or you want me to read the first one? I'm ready.
These 18 items from the graduate process for developing real knowledge. Except for these 18 items, all other items, whatever are grouped within the category of Nissan, Sira Bhakti Noda, thank you. A great teacher said that all the form of material knowledge are merely internal filter of the illusory energy. And by culturing them, one becomes no better than any acts. Here in Siri Isopanishad, the same principle is repeated. Material advancement of knowledge means actually converting a human being to the status of an axe. Some materialistic politicians, under cover of spiritual garments, do declare the present system of civilization as satanic, but unfortunately they do not care for the culture of real knowledge, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore they cannot change the satanic situation. In the modern sector.
It's okay.
No, hello.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Your reading is very clear today, because your network is better than yesterday. It's very clear. Today you are in a nice place. During other classes, you should stay in this particular place to do your classes. You are located in a nice spot now. Maintain it. Yes, someone else will read the next paragraph.
Okay.
Listen attentively, because we are not going to waste time to elaborate on it. Or you want to say something?
Okay. In the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men. Due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities, boys all over the world are giving their elders headaches. Thus, Sri Isopanishad very strongly warns that the culture of nuisance is difficult from that of knowledge. The universities, yes, different. It's different from that of knowledge. The universities are so to speak, centers of nuisance only. Consequently, scientists are busy discovering literal weapons to wipe out the existence of other countries. University students today are not given instructions in the regulative principle of brahmachari, celibate student life, nor do they have any faith in any spiritual injunctions. Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only, and not for the sake of practical actions. Thus, there is animosity not only in social and political field, but in the field of religion as well.
Okay. They don't practice sense control. They don't talk about sense control. Whereas the principle of knowledge is talking about sense control and pridelessness. They are practicing pride and sense indulgence. So the consequences are what you are seeing there. So the Prabhupada is enumerated. Okay, thank you very much. Someone else to read the next paragraph clearly.
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nationalism has developed in different parts of the world due to the cultivation of nations by the general people. No one considers that this tiny earth is just a lump of matter floating in immeasurable space along with many other lamps. In comparison to the vastness of space, these material lamps are like dust particles in the air. Because God has kindly made these lamps of matter complete in themselves, they are perfectly equipped with all necessities for floating in space. The drivers of our spaceship may be very proud of their achievements, but they do not consider the supreme driver of these greater, more gigantic spaceships called planets.
Okay, thank you very much. You see how this is very clear also. We are proud of our abilities when we go nationalistic instead of God-centered day. Instead of recognizing God and promoting God consciousness as the ultimate, we are promoting our nations as the ultimate thing to protect. These nations and whatever they're in, they came into being in due course of time. And also they will go into oblivion in due course of time. So they are combination of matter. So to talk about, to focus only on nationalism, it brings about pride and territorial mentality, lizard mentality. You see lizard fighting heavily. The agama lizard, especially, they're using the tail to smash each other, to slap. If you look, why then is making it like this? This is my territory. Why are you coming to my territory? All the ladies in this territory belong to me. And you are coming to my territory to come and hunt for my ladies over my dead body. So in this way, they are fighting, using their tail to slap each other. Until one will run away. Yeah. This kind of mentality is nationalistic mentality without the relationship with the supreme nationalists. So if we are proud of our abilities, we should look at the abilities of Krishna. For instance, those who are able to drive spaceship and plane, and they're very proud and they have degrees on that. What about the whole universe that is floating in space? It's driven by Krishna's fragmental, part of his fragmental energies, keeping all the planets in orbits, floating in space. You see, so it's the supreme driver. So our consciousness will go beyond this immediate to recognize the source of whatever is happening here. The source of whatever is here is coming from Krishna. So when our consciousness is focused on pleasing Krishna, then we get the maximum of everything. Bhakti Juma, your hand is up. You can unmute.
There are innumerable suns and innumerable planets. There are innumerable suns and innumerable planetary systems also.
Carry on. I thought you are reading.
Asking for just smile.
You should read the paragraph. Unmute.
There are innumerable suns and innumerable planetary systems also. As infinite similar part and parcel of Supreme Lord, we small creatures are trying to dominate these unlimited planets. Thus, we take repeated birth and death and are generally frustrated by old age and disease. The span of human life is scheduled for about 100 years, although it is gradually decreasing to 20 or 30 years. Thanks to the culture of nations, the feud men have created their own nations within these planets and in order to grasp sense enjoyment more effectively for these few years. Such foolish people draw up various plans to render national demarcations perfectly, a task that is totally impossible. Yet for this purpose, each and every nation has become a source of anxiety for others. More than 50% of a nation's energy is devoted to defense measures and thus spoiled. No one cares for cultivation of real knowledge. Yet people are falsely proud of being advanced in both material and spiritual knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So it is very clearly explained how the material civilization is acting in violation to the principles of knowledge. And the consequences are horrendous. They are better imagined than said. So many negative consequences. So the frustration, the confusion we are seeing all around the world is because of people acting in violation to the principles of knowledge. So if we want a different result, we have to act differently. Okay, having said that, the next paragraph we talk about the Dira, who is qualified to educate the world, because those who are educating the world without knowledge of their relationship with God, they are educating the world in the wrong direction. Then who is qualified to actually educate the people of the world? Let us read the next paragraph. Baula Swapriti Prabhu, read the next paragraph.
Shri Isopanishad warns of this 40 mode of education, and the Bhagavad Gita gives instruction as to the development of real knowledge. In this mantra, there is a hint that the instruction of Vidya, knowledge, must begin from the Dira. Dira means undisturbed, not disturbed by material illusion. No one can be undisturbed until he has perfect spiritual realization. When one is perfectly spiritualized, when one is perfectly spiritually realized, he has no more hankering for anything acquired, nor does he lament for anything lost. Such a Dira has realized that the material body and mind, which he has acquired by chance, material association, are foreign elements, and therefore he simply makes the best use of a bad bargain. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Who is this Dira being talked about so far as from what you have known, what you have realized? Which are the adhikaris? Uttama Adhikari. This is the Uttama Adhikari. Is the one qualified to give knowledge. Actually, not only Uttama, but Madhyama also. Madhyama Adhikaris are also very advanced. They've also arrived, but still they are a little bit below the Uttama. And the Madhyama remains in their position and act properly when they take instruction from the Uttama and they follow the instruction taken from the Uttama. Then that keeps them steady on that platform. Therefore, they can also now represent the Uttama. Uttama is representing Krishna, and the Madhyama is following in the footsteps of Uttama very closely. And both the Uttama and the Madhyama, they are guiding the Kanista. Both the junior Kanistas and the senior Kanistas. A senior Kanista can be 40 years old in the movement. So nobody here should think that he's already a Madhyama. A little one that there, me too, I'm not thinking that I'm a Madhyama. If I have a position at all, it will be a senior canister. If there's a position at all, I find myself among the senior canisters. There is hope. As long as I'm ready to follow the direction from the Madhyama and the Uttama, I will also arrive. Because that is the potency of Krishna being propylatic. Propylatic means it's pure and it purifies anything that comes in contact with him. And those he purifies, he also gives them the purifying potency. They can in turn purify whatever comes in contact with them. And in this way, the purifying potency of the Lord is coming down to us. We are also connected to that chain. So if we are not yet purified, as long as we are there trying to follow the instructions given by the Uttama and the Madhyama, we will also arrive. The hope is there. So this particular verse, when the Uttama arrives, the Uttama devotees, he has two qualities. He has attained the Brahma Bhuta platform. And in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse, Mam Chayo Vyabhicharana Bhakti Yogena Sevate, Sagunan Samatitya, and Brahma Bhuyaya Kapate. When he arrives there, he neither laments for anything that is lost, and he never hankers for anything, no hankering, no lamentation. He's transcendentally equiposed there. And because he's seeing beyond the external interactions, he's just seeing the soul and he's seeing. Yes, Brahma Buddha Prasanatma, Nasuchati, Nakamsati. Sama Sarvesu Butesu, Man Bhaktin Labate Panam. That is also there. That is one of the verses. Then Mam Chayo Vyabhicharana, Bhakti Yogena Sevati, Saguna Samatitata, Brahma Bhuyaya Kapati. So these two verses are directly, explaining the position of the Uttama. Is transcendentally situated. And since he is beyond the dualities, only him can really potently instruct and carry people along. And this is what is happening. And we are expected to eventually arrive there. All glories to the Dhira. He is called a Dhira here. You see, Dhira means undisturbed, not disturbed by material illusion. No one can be undisturbed unless and until he has perfect spiritual realization. One who is perfectly spiritually realized has no more hankering for anything required, nor does he lament for anything lost. Now Sushati, now Kamshati. So as a Dhira has realized that the material body and mind so like this. So we should select such a Dhira as our spiritual master, walk under his direction and guidance. Then we are going to be there. So please, you should take this ISKCON disciple course very seriously. If you have not taken it, and even if you have taken initiation, you should refresh. Even if you have done it, you should go there again to refresh, because that will now keep you on track unconditionally. So you should do so that if you are taking a guru, you should be able to please the guru. And pleasing the guru means success in your devotional service. So know what is expected of you. So we are inviting all of you to still come on board. But before that, we are doing a 5-day course. The regulatory principles of freedom. We have one of those who have attained that level we are talking about to come on board, to associate with us on this platform. From Monday, which is tomorrow, to Friday. Just a 5-day course. So those who have not registered, so please register. The links are provided. We are advancing seriously. We are providing links and we are providing Google Forms. So we are generating them ourselves. We are advancing like anything. We are going seriously technological. We are carried along. We don't resist change. We adapt. We adapt to changes, and we are there also. So kindly go there, register yourself, and be part of whatever good thing that is brought to this platform. Hare Krishna. Let's read the next paragraph, please. Let's be fast in reading, but we have some 10 minutes more for this reading.
The material body and mind are bad bargains. Okay, I'm still there. The material body and mind are bad bargains for the spiritual living entity. The living entity has actual functions in the living, spiritual world, but this material world is dead. As long as the living spiritual sparks manipulate the dead lumps of matter, the dead world appears to be a living world. Actually, it is the living souls, the parts and parcels of the supreme living being, who move the world. The dearest have come to know all these facts by hearing from superior authorities, and have realized this knowledge by following the regulative principles.
And those regulative principles are still available. The boat is not taken away. The dealers are there. They are available. Those who follow the instructions on the Uttama arrived there. They are still there. Then the Uttamas are still there. The whole process is there. So let us see it very clearly. There is matter. There is spirit in matter. Our existence as human beings, we are spirits that are embodied. We are spirits living within matter. So for us, there is growth, there is existence, or the ability to reproduce. There is growth, there is reproduction, there is preservation. Okay? Which is not present. These three are not present in other kind of matter, like table, houses, all other matters, in the cutlass, in all other matters that you can ever imagine. These principles of birth or growth, first growth, reproduction, and preservation, they don't exist. Only when spirit is in matter that there is growth. So anything you see growing is a matter of spirit in matter situation, like we. And as we are growing, there is reproduction. All those things that grow, they reproduce themselves automatically. It's the automatic arrangement of nature that a male form is given, the female form is given, then they meet and they reproduce themselves without God directly coming to be in touch. They continue to reproduce automatically while he's sitting there enjoying himself, dancing. You see, and those who cannot come through that, they come through seeds, and through explosive mechanisms, they are dispatched and they grow again. And because the life is there, the soul is inside. You see, so this is the situation. We should understand this. And the Dira understands this situation, and he knows that the soul that is entrapped in the body is by nature spiritual, while the body is matter, material. So the Dira, they encourage and they teach, they open our eyes to see this, and encourage us to develop spiritually, not to be attached to the body and the bodily pleasures therein. Instead, we should look beyond, see beyond, and act in pursuance of achieving that which is beyond. So this is the process. Now, continue reading. Lila Sukha Prabhu, you read the next paragraph, if you are there. If you are not there,
follow.
Okay, carry on.
To follow the regulative principles, one must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. The transcendental message and regulative principles come down from the spiritual master to the disciple. Such knowledge does not come in the hazardous way of nascent education. One can become a Dira only by submissively hearing from a bona fide spiritual master. Arjuna, for example, became a Dira by submissively hearing from Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead himself. Thus, the perfect disciple must be like Arjuna, and the spiritual master must be as good as the Lord himself. This is the process of learning Vidya, knowledge from Dira, the undisturbed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the process of learning is given here. You want to get transcendental knowledge, approach a Dira. And the Dira will now show you whatever is needed and will guide you. That is, this is an explanation of the verse in Bhagavad Gita 3:34. Tad vidi pranipati na pari prasnena sevaya. Upadeshanti te gyanina statwa darshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master. Inquire for him submissively and render services unto him. The self-realized soul can show you the truth because he has known the truth. So this particular is a confirmation of that particular principle. How to do it is given. Go to the Dira. Only the Dira can guide you. Only the Dira can expose the higher reality to you, not the Adira. Opposite to the Dira is the Adira. And let's read about the Adira and his inability, and therefore the necessity for taking shelter of the Dira. You must take shelter of the spiritual master in order to evolve. So we earlier told you there are three: humility, taking shelter of the spiritual master, okay, taking shelter of the spiritual master, then engaging whatever in devotional service. So the last paragraph, Dr. Samuel, can you read? Or Dr. Osai Loki, can you read?
Hare Krishna.
Very well.
Okay, so the last paragraph. An Adira, one who has not undergone the training of a Dira, cannot be an instructive leader. Modern politicians who pose themselves as Diras are actually Adiras, and one cannot expect perfect knowledge from them. They are simply busy seeing to their own remuneration and dollars and cents. How then can they lead the mass of people to the right path of self-realization? Thus, one must hear submissively from a Dira in order to attain actual education. Hare Krishna.
So when you leave here, please go and read Bhagavad Gita 334. Is it 334 or 434? Third video Pranipatina. I think it's 434.
34.
Is it 434?
Yes, 434.
434. Go
Yes,
and read.
Rabbi.
So go and read 434. Try to memorize the Sanskrit and also memorize the translation, because it's a key verse that will guide you throughout your devotional service. It's very, very important. Then also go and read and acclimatize yourself with Bhagavad Gita 13, 8 to 12, where the principles of knowledge are enumerated. Read the translation, read the purport for your personal upliftment and consumption. So thank you very much. Having said that, I haven't arrived here now. We now move to the next verse immediately. The next verse of mantra is mantra 11. Let's read it together. Or a particular student can read it. Any student who is motivated to read the Sanskrit can read it. See, this Sanskrit pronunciation is not so difficult as we think. It is there. All of us will learn it just by looking at the word and trying to pronounce it accordingly, like our local language. So, but then we say, if you go to the back of Bhagavad Gita, towards the back page, you will see guide to Sanskrit pronunciation. So going there to
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vidyam cha ya. Tad vedo bayam saha. Avidyaya mrityum trivata. Vidyayam mritam asnute.
Yes. Vidyam chayas. Tad vedo bayam saha. Avidyayam mrityum tritva. Vidyayam mrita asnute. It's a mantra. In fact, Srila Prabhupada recommend that devotees to all memorize the whole Isopanishad and be reciting, because it brings a lot of auspiciousness. Okay, translation. Read the translation also. Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death. Okay, so that is it. Only one who knows in this particular mantra, it is said that we should learn both, nescience and transcendental knowledge side by side. We should cultivate both vidya and avidya side by side. What does it mean? How is it to be done? We see, we read, when we are reading, we're going to see. But before then, let me conclude something on the last mantra. That Srila Prabhupada talks about the dhira in the last section of the purport. The material body and mind, they are bad bargains for the spiritual being. Avidya refers to anything that leads to sense gratification. And the divorce of education from transformation. When you divorce education from transformation, then it leads to destruction, because characteristically, education must lead to transformation. So education and transformation, they work hands in glove. But when you try to separate them, you're educating people without focusing on how that education can transform them, to develop character, to help them to develop character. Then you are off track. Therefore, the divorce of education from transformation leads to destruction. Okay? Therefore, we say knowledge plus devotion equals transcendence. And also we say knowledge plus virtue is equal to goodness. But unfortunately today, we talk of knowledge as just giving relevant information, that's all. We give some information, and today that is what we call knowledge. But knowledge must lead to transformation. And it must be knowledge beyond the body and the senses of the body. It should be transcendental knowledge. And only the dhira, the pure devotees, can give us a knowledge. Okay? Only the dhira can give us knowledge. Therefore, we should look for one of those dhiras, take shelter of him by initiation, and begin to render devotional service under his guidance. Very, very critically important. Therefore, do the IDC course, do the regulatory principles of freedom. These two courses coming, don't miss them. The people who are coming to share their experience with you, they are on a level, and they can help you evolve to the next level also. So don't miss. If you have not registered immediately after this course, go there and register and move ahead. So the divorce from education, the divorce of transformation from education, it leads to destruction. Conversely, education plus transformation equals elevation or purification or satisfaction. Okay? Educate. Real education is to know about your real identity. And therefore, you start putting into practice as a part and parcel to serve the whole. Then purification takes place, elevation takes place, then liberation will take place. Because our motto is to educate, to elevate, and to liberate. That is the duty of the human form of life. To educate, to elevate, and to liberate. To educate, elevate, and liberate. This is the duty, this is the quota for the human form of life. And you are on track by his grace. So thank you very much. Now, we are going to move into action. Kapkanapura, are you there? It's great, Kapkanapura, please, are you there? It's great. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you for being there. You are not far away, so you immediately relocate. It's okay. Hare Krishna. Don't be surprised if somebody's video is off and the person appears to be there, but is not there. Don't be surprised. But luckily for us, our man was there. I'm not saying you were not there.
You are insinuating another thing, no?
I'm talking about those whose videos are off now. I said they might be there and they might not be there.
So that should be one of the classroom norms. One of the classroom norms should be that the video should be on throughout the whole lecture. That should be one of the classroom norms.
Yes, but actually, circumstantially, one can temporarily off it and bring it back. It's necessary. If one wants to go to the bedroom to offload his or container, it's better he off it briefly and go and come. So that can be allowed, but it should not be a practice at all. It's just something circumstantial, and we understand. Okay, having said that, here is Kavikanapura Prabhu. We are going to divide the class into groups now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we can create 5 groups. 3 into 1 group. 5 groups. Let us consider those who are together in one place. We should be able to group them together, and they should take 3 paragraphs each. Each group will take 3 paragraphs, because this is 15 paragraphs, one of the longest reports, but it's not long also. 15 paragraphs, we divide it into 3 groups, and each group will take 3 paragraphs. And the names of the groups remain Yudhishthira, Bhimasen, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. Please create your groups now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. You are muted. You are muted again. Lucky Osai, you are muted. I can see that you are all in a group. About 4 of you are in the same place, so we'll group you together in a group. We can see. Show your faces. Let us see. Teacher Prabhu is there. Lucky Osai. Hare Krishna. Damodara is there. And who else?
Who day again? So that's the back.
Okay, so do your grouping. Then Yudhishthira, once you see your name as Yudhishthira, when you come under Yudhishthira, you just take the first 3 paragraphs. If you are Bhima, you take the next 3 paragraphs. If you are Arjuna, you take the next 3 paragraphs. And if you are Nakula, you take the next 3 paragraphs. And if you are Sangadev, you take the last 3 paragraphs. Hare Krishna. Go extract the essential points and come and present to the class. You have 10 minutes. Okay, you have 12 minutes to do that. Hare Krishna.
Depending on your group, you can't.
Some people are still here.
I'm just putting the group now. It's not there before.
I should be the same place. Isopanishad mantra level. I can't wait me to get you. Not anything. That is mantra level.
Those who are in the same place should be grouped together so that they can have easy access.
But they are already in one place now. They are in outside Lucky's place now. So all of them will just take one group.
Okay, now carry on.
So what group we should give them?
You can give them Yudhishthira, no problem.
So outside Lucky and all the people inside the car, you are all Yudhishthira, okay? Then let's look for Bhima.
3 people.
Then another group. Then we have the next other 3 group. Then we have Sahadev.
Bhima,
okay.
Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev.
So we already gotten it. Aside Lucky and all the people in the car, you are in Yudhishthira group. So you are going to take the first 3 paragraphs. Then the Bhima, they take the next 3 paragraphs. Arjuna take the one that follows, the 3, Nakula, and like that. So now Click on your screen and go to your group. Bye.
Baula so pretty, Prabhu. It's not in a okay. They should go to.
Don't worry yourself. Everybody are being assigned to a group. Don't worry.
Very good. Lila Suka is still on the surface.
He's supposed to join his group.
Katman Nitai Prabhu, please, we recognize your subtle presence. It has become physical, and we are happy to have you here in this beautiful class. Welcome. Thank you for the sacrifice. Isaac Godwin, disappear to your group. Okay, yes, he has gone. So, Kapikana Prabhuji, if you like, you can go to any of the groups and listen to what they are doing and be giving them guidance there. Any group you like, you can just click and join. If you like, you can stay here also so that we can be on our own too. Remove it on the screen. Are you hearing me? You can't imagine you are muted.
Okay. So I said I have a brief time to spend, and very soon I'll be going down for some temple program.
Okay.
I wanted to register my presence at least by being part of the program for some while. And it's unfortunate I don't have so much time to put it.
Okay, it's okay. It's understood. Today is festival day.
Yes.
That's why some people are not here. Just Shyam and his family, they are not here. They must have gone to the temple.
Yeah, I'm in the temple. They should be on, maybe by now they should be on transit. They should be on the way coming.
Okay.
They're not yet here in the temple yet.
Great. Hare Krishna. Goranga.
Okay, I beg for permission to leave to also partake in the temple program. Okay. And if time allows, I will rejoin later.
Tell if you see Ojaswishan, tell him that we are feeling the absence. So even while in the temple, we can go and hide somewhere and briefly participate.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Another Prabhu, what are you doing here? Go back to your room. Babananda is here, dislocated. Bright and Bangi are in the same group, only two of them. I'm going to one of the groups.
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Hiranmayena Patrina Satyasya Pihitam Mukham Tattvam Pushana Pavinu Satyadharmaya Dristaye Vayuranilam Amritam Atedam Vashmatam Shahidam Om Krito Smara Kritam Smara Krito Smara Kritam Smara Agnenaya Supatare Asman Vishmani Deva Vayanani Vidmanyo Yashman Juhurana Mino Buhi Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.
Tadhavatonyani taditishtar tashminapomattarishvadutati tade jati tadnai jati tadhure tadvantike tarantarasya sarvasya taru sarvasya.
Mother Bangi, why are you not in your room? What are you doing here? Go back to your room. It's like it's not, our audio is not on. Mother Bangi, unmute and say something if you are hearing us. Unmute and say something if you are hearing us.
She's hearing you now. She's hearing you.
It's not. It's not.
She's hearing you. She's smiling when you are talking. So she's hearing you.
The whole thing is reading something on to us. Send her back to her room now. Aribo, you are not supposed to be there. If you are hearing me, go back to your room. Okay, GKB, when we start, as soon as they come back, first do some announcement first. Yeah.
Intermittently make that announcement, because when you announce things again and again, people will take it serious.
But I've announced it about 2 times now so far.
That's what I'm saying. I said we should do it more. Just like when you are watching TV, every time they bring the announcement so that you will stick it to the head.
Yes. Okay. So the timing, you have to be strict with the timing.
They are already coming back.
Yeah. So you should bring them back. Bring all of them back.
No, when the time is over, automatically, I've set it automatically, they will come back.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I then realized something, and I want to correct it. Like, you know, for a long time now, the people I found in my group, we were supposed to be the Arjuna group, but so according to the position of the groups, I thought we should take paragraph 9, but I just realized that
Stephen Govinda, there is no fixed group for now. We share group based on the people in the classroom.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what really happened.
Yes. Then I understand the situation, but unfortunately, I read the wrong paragraph. Like, that's what I wanted to say. That I try to extract.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's carry on. We'll manage it when the time comes.
Yes.
Before we go into presentation, let me tell you, we have each group to present for 5 minutes, or each group to present for 3 minutes. Then we make comments on it. So each group we have 5 minutes for both presentation and comments. Presentation complementarily and also comment from us. 5 minutes. So we do that. And before we go on to that, we want to remind you again, the courses that are on board. Tomorrow we are starting the 4 regulatory principles or regulatory principles of freedom, and you must register. Once the course starts, no registration will be allowed. Once the course starts, only those who are ready before the beginning will participate. So there is deadline. Deadline is the beginning of the course. So kindly do us good, do yourself good. Having said that, let's go into the presentation. The district group, come on board. Please don't waste time. When you are called upon, be swift in coming on board.
The judicial people are not here now, side lucky.
And they are supposed to be the beginning. Just imagine.
The second person, the second group come, the Bima.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So for the Bima group, we took the 4th, 5th, and 6th paragraph. And some point we got from there was okay,
the first group has come, so let us give them
okay.
That's a good one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Whenever Pranam, glory to you, Prabhu.
Please present. We are waiting for you. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm presenting on behalf of Yudhishthira group. So the first paragraph, they talk about the inevitability of death. And we went for material world, which is the birth, old age, and death. So according to us, for anything to be considered as a problem, you have to pass through 3 criterions. And one of them is that it must be something that nobody wants. So when it passes 3 criteria, and it is considered that it is a problem. So if it's something that nobody wants, it must be something that is applicable to everyone. And
can you off your video and let us see whether the voice will be clear? There's an interference.
You said what?
Off your video so that the interference will be not too much. There's interference.
So, Papa, as I was saying, talk about the 4 problems of human life. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly now.
Okay. So the first and second up to the 3rd paragraph talk about the problems of human life. And according to the Vedas, for anything to be considered as a problem, it has to pass through 3 criterions. The first one is that it must be applicable to everyone. The second one is that it is inevitable, you cannot avoid it. And the third one is that
Prabhu, your time is going and network has seized you. Network has arrested you and your group. So then let the second group present, please. We cannot continue to wait.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So for the second group, for Bima group, the point we derived from the 4th paragraph was to abolish the mentality of trying to stay or trying to beat death in this material existence, because even Hiranyakashipu, who was even as powerful during his time, possessed with lots of demons, couldn't even beat death in his time. Less to talk of even this time that we are so not much stronger like when he was in his time. So that is why these Vedic scriptures, like the Sri Isopanishad, the Vedanta Sutra, and the Bhagavad Gita, is trying to teach us the way that we can actually gain true knowledge of existence, and that is to go back to Godhead. So any attempt to either go to other planets to stay there and live for long, or to even prolong our lives here, shouldn't be encouraged. But the knowledge, or the true knowledge for existence, is to know how to go back to Godhead, and that can be found only in the Vedic scriptures. Hare Krishna. I don't know if my mates also have something to add. They can also add.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Continue, please.
Okay. A little that I want to add to what the Prabhu gave is that one should not becomes more intelligent than his or her spiritual master or Lord Krishna himself, because as the paragraph pertains, the Hiranyakashipu thinks that he's more intelligent, more wise, that he wanted even to outsmart Lord Brahma, the creator of this material universe, by giving him all kinds of boons. So sometimes we, in this material, we also think that, okay, I have learned about these things. I want to do this so that I'll become immortal, that I will not die. But nobody can supersede God, and God is God. That is why there is no solution to birth, old age, disease, and death, which means that these are the real problems of life. No matter I have money, the opulence that I can accumulate, whatever I possess, or I will leave it behind, because nobody can remain immortal. That is, he will not die. Everybody will die one day. So what is the most important thing for us today is that we are not from this material world. We are strangers here. So the purpose is trying to tell us that we, the living souls, we are supposed to abide by the rules and regulations, because no matter how much we struggle, we can't make any changes. We cannot make any significant changes to our situation. We are doing adjustment. It's just like somebody carrying a load on their head, and because you're feeling pains on your head, you shift the load to your shoulder, and you shift it to another shoulder. But all along, you can understand that the load is still on you. So no matter where you place the load, you are still feeling the pains. So the only thing that we can do is that we submit to a dealer or a spiritual master, and follow the rules and regulations, which is by doing devotional service, so that when we quit this body, we can have, or we can finally return to our home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji is not here. I think his network is disturbing him. Who is the next group?
The next group is Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, please, you can.
Arjuna.
When Prabhu come, you can summarize it to him also.
Okay. This is Arjuna. I'm taking paragraph 7 down to 9. But I will take the first paragraph. My members will take others also. I'm going to the point direct. He said the personality of Godhead from his kingdom send his bonnet feathered servants to propagate the mission of going back to the goddess. Means the personality of Godhead, Krishna himself has sent people, messenger, disciple, to preach about his way, how we can go back to the goddess. He dare mention here that he said God is more sorry than we ourselves are. for the suffering which we are constantly undergoing in the material condition. He said we are the cause of our problem. We refuse to obey his commandment. We are the cause of our problem that makes us to suffer in this material world. We're supposed not to be suffered. The initial agreement was not, it wasn't for we to suffer on this material world, but it was our disobedience that caused us to suffer in this material world. Intelligent living entity generally take note of this reminder and side by side engage themselves in the culture of Veda. He said those that are intelligent, those that know that there is a need of going back to Goddess, that they keep the rules and regulation of Krishna so that it will enable them to go back to Goddess. Those are the intelligent ones. They remind themselves every time that this place is not their place. One day they will go back again. So they did the right thing at the right time. Human life is the best opportunity for the culture of spiritual knowledge. Yes, being a form of human life, we have a great opportunity that we are not an animal, we are not a dog, we are not an axe. That in the other previous mantra, we stated that axe is a symbol of stupidity. So in being a form of a human, being a human being, we have a great opportunity to remind ourselves that we must go back to a Goddess, to do good things at the right time. And I said here that, and the human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is human in human life is called Narhamat, the lowest human being. That means that Naradama. Thank you, sir. Naradama. He said is the lowest human being. In short, he's an idiot. That you are being created. You don't know why you were created. You don't know, you cannot recognize who created you. So that means he classifies such a people as the lowest human being. I will quickly go to, it's a foolish human being who are closely absorbed in the culture of Avenya.
So, Papa, you can start rounding off. You have only 1 minute left.
Okay. Avenya. He said, this foolish human being who invoke himself into this culture of Avenger, people that did not understand the law of God, people that did not understand the law of Krishna, did not follow his footsteps, did not understand his commandment. He said, those people, they are not worthy to be in kingdom. They are not worthy to go back to the Goddess. Hare Krishna. My fellow will continue with the others ones.
So who is the person who's supposed to continue?
I don't know if I was alone there.
And you say somebody is going to continue when you don't know whether you're alone there. Okay. So who is the next person, next group? Saade for us, Nakul. Babu got problem with his internet. That is why he's not here.
Nakul's group is the next one.
Okay, please, Jamasami, go ahead.
Yes, so with short time, I'll just go straight to the point and then the other members can carry on. So this paragraph was clearly talking about how the material world is advancing and then neglecting all spiritual activities, which is the essence of life. And also with a short illustration, when we go to the hospitals, the thermometer is used by the doctor and the nurses. So when they try to check the temperature of a patient, there's a particular number or amount that is accurate. So if it goes beyond or below, then there's something wrong. So that is how this material world is. And also our scriptures are stated as giving us special instruction and warning not to get drifted away by material advancement, the whole thing. And as a devotee, we are meant to cultivate the culture of spiritual knowledge so we can be free from this material bondage. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Very straight to the point. Thank you. We got the essence. And Sahadev. those in the Saturday group? The last group. I think many devotees are already gone. Chaitanya Prabhu is having some challenges with his internet. So that's why he's still coming. Just like I'm seeing that many people, okay, Babuji has just arrived. So meanwhile, those who are here, please make sure you register for most of these our courses we are advertising on the community. Please go click that button and register. We want to have data of all our students before we start the course. That is why we are emphasizing that you should register on that platform. Please do that. Means after this class, make sure you register. Chaitanya Prabhu, please, you can continue. I think the presentation is over. Unmute yourself, Prabhu, and continue. TechnoSpark 8P.
It's unfortunate that
we can hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm trying to on the torchlight of my phone. It's
no,
not coming.
We are seeing you. It's bright. You know his phone.
No, but I had to see my book. That's why I wanted to look. I have some notes.
If you are using the camera, you cannot on the torchlight, but it's all right.
Okay. So I'm completely in the dark now.
Just summarize, I think. Because it's already time also. Maybe you can continue tomorrow when there is light, or next week, Saturday.
Okay, maybe next week, Saturday, I can summarize, but you can say something to summarize there. Okay, Prabhuji's already, Mataji's, most of the students have already left also, and it's actually time. But these are unavoidable environmental forces we need to contend with as long as we are depending on technology. See, these are some of the imperfections, unreliability of our technological environment. Nevertheless, it's been a good class as we elaborated on the principles of knowledge and gravitated into this particular mantra 11. Mantra 11 actually talks about the necessity of vidya and avidya, that we need to cultivate both knowledge side by side. We must cultivate both knowledge side by side. And also the inevitability of the main forces in material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death, and how to know something about how to live here. But how that is not just enough. To knowing how to live here and to be able to live here nicely is not enough. Because here, it's a strange environment to the soul. This is a strange environment to the soul. So in this kind of environment, the soul cannot be happy. It has not gotten satisfaction. And it's always looking for the father is always looking for immortality, means this is a strange environment for him. Therefore, to cultivate material knowledge or knowledge of how to live very nicely here is not enough. We must see beyond. We must go ahead to cultivate knowledge that will liberate the soul from its immediate entanglement. And when you put the two together, that is when you get fulfillment. So avidya is not enough, but is necessary. But vidya, real knowledge, is actually needed to be able to make a complete equilibrium. So as long as we are in the material body, in the material environment, we need to know how to live here. But then we need to see beyond to cultivate knowledge of how to liberate ourselves so that we can eventually join the kingdom of God and experience the eternity that we are looking for. Both are complementary. So this is the purport here in the overall, but we have to break it down into paragraphs when the environmental forces struck. And since we are here, we have to comply. So on this note, we will go. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear any of the presenters, but we will go. Then when we come in our next class, we will start with this summary. I will summarize what is in this particular mantra before we go ahead to mantra 12. So
just announcement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today is a festival day, and we are happy that at least you were able to sacrifice your time to come and be part of this program. So Guru and Krishna will continue to bless you and enable you to enjoy your celebrations, and also enjoy till you begin to have a glimpse of that eternality you are looking for. But please don't fall into ecstasy. Hare Krishna. So that you can
be... Why they should not fall into ecstasy? Ecstasy is the goal of devotion.
Next week we will not be there.
So just a quick announcement. So tomorrow we are starting regulative principles of freedom. So please, I know many of you are on that platform. You should please register. Click on the button that the link that they say we should register on, and go and register your name. It helps us to keep the data of the student. That is why we are doing all these things. We can have accurate data. It's very, very important for moving forward. We have to be able to manage data. You know, that is how they do in school. You collect data, then you can be able to assess. And also for all the upcoming courses, you can be able to reach out to all these people. So please click on that button, register. Maharaj is going to start tomorrow. It's 6 p.m. Nigerian time, 5 p.m. Ghana time. That is it. So everybody can participate in this regulative principle of freedom. And it's an opportunity for us to hear from Maharaj also. Maharaj just came back from India. So please make sure you register and encourage your friends and families to register also. It's very, very important. We are just collecting token. And if you don't have the money also, you can give us this donation later in the future, but please come. We don't want to say, because I don't have money, I will not come. No, come. Then you can give the donation in the future. But it's very important when you give donation for knowledge you receive. It helps you to be able to internalize the knowledge. It's very, very important. It's called Guru Dakshina. Okay? So that's what I will say. So please, let us be there tomorrow. But before we can be there, let us go and register on that on the link. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Having said that, please, before you go, Kavi, can you tell us a little bit about the community in the other platform you created and the benefits?
Yes, the community, you know, normally, you know what community is all about. So whatever program we are doing on Bhakti Academy, we can always add them in the community. So let's say, for example, now we have this regulatory principle of freedom. So it's all, those who are interested will be in that group. Only those who are interested will be in that group. But when we share the information of the community, all the other groups also will see it. Those who are doing Bhakti Shastri, those who are doing Bhakti by Baba, those who have registered for Instrument Disciple course. So everybody will be seeing the information that is posted on the community. You understand? It's a community for all our program we are doing and the one we are going to be doing in the future. So it will help us to be able to manage the data of all the students we have who are taking different courses. So once we post a program in the community, everybody will see. So people will join the group you have created for that particular course to be able to participate in that course. Okay. And also, when we generate the link for this regulating principle of freedom, we are not going to share it in the community. We are going to share it in that group that is created for that regulating principle of freedom, because only those people who are in that platform are show interest to be part of that program. So please, if you have not joined the regulating principle of freedom, join the group, because we are going to share the link in that group. We are not going to share it on your Bhakti Shastri group. We are not going to share Bhakti by Baba group. No, we are going to share it only on the regulating principle of freedom group. So it's better you join the group and register yourself that you want to participate in that program. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So enjoy your Jamasami celebrations. Jai Sri Krishna Jamasami ki Jai, Vaishnava Thakur ki Jai. Vanchakapatarubhya cha kripa sindhubhya savacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.